What is going on, YouTube? This is Jim back with another review today, taking a look at Ratchet Clank, A Rift Apart. This is a PlayStation 5 exclusive. You're probably looking at the game case wondering, like, what the heck? Like, this isn't the game case I remember. But as you guys know, PlayStation does like to reverse them. So here's the one you probably have seen on the store shelves. But here's the one that I like to display because, you know, it's a little different, right? A Rift Apart. Should you play it? Yes. It's an amazing game. If you're familiar with Ratchet Clank, then you know it is a third-person shooter. That's really what it comes down to. Yes, there is some light exploration. There is some light puzzle solving. There's definitely a good story wrapped around everything, but that's really what it boils down to. So if you're looking at this from a definitive review, just straight facts, does it do what it's supposed to do? It does. The combat in this game is so incredibly fluid, whether you're switching it up between your double jumps, your glider, your speed boosts, which you get later on, your melee weapon, or a litany of specialized arsenal that you're going to get to have. Combat feels so good for a lot of different reasons. Now, I'll talk about the PlayStation 5 special features, particularly the haptic and the 3D audio in a minute, but sticking with just the core gameplay mechanic, the way that each of the guns handle and the way that each of the guns interact with other enemies is just a joy, honestly. Throughout your adventure, you'll be able to buy more arsenal from Mrs. Zircon, who will sell you a litany of weapons throughout the story. All you got to do is just keep playing and eventually they'll unlock. You can buy all of them like my wife and I did, or you could choose just to focus in on a couple that you really like and kind of just stick and upgrade those if you want to. They all seem to serve a great purpose, and the way they interact with enemies is great. And you're thinking, what do you mean interact with enemies? Like, you shoot something and they die, don't they? Well, not necessarily in Ratchet Clank. A lot of the weapons have very unique feature sets to them. You have your traditional blaster and a sniper rifle variant, a rocket launcher, a chain gun. These are things that work exactly as you think they do, and when an enemy dies, they die exactly the way you think they would in a fiery explosion of death. However, there are a lot of special weapons, like the Pixelator, which turns enemies into 8-bit, basically, pixels. When you hit them with a sword or your wrench, or when you hit them with any other gun, they explode and shatter into a bunch of little cubes, which is really, really neat. You have ice grenades, which encase enemies in a block of ice, which then can be shattered. You also have really bizarre weapons like the topiary sprinkler, one of my favorites. We actually plant a sprinkler head on the ground and it sprays water. Any enemy that is hit by the water gets completely covered in leaves, and they take extra damage. When you hit them, they explode like jumping in a pile of leaves. There are a litany of really cool weapons like this that have really neat functions and reasons to use them. So I think you're going to want to buy them all and explore with all of them because they're just so fun. And combat is, like I said, it's so good. There are basically giant arenas where you're going to fight enemies. There's pits, you can knock them off. There's explosive barrels. There's weapons that you can rebound and shoot their bullets back at them. There's rifts that you can teleport to engage in different styles, and it's a very deep mechanic that works out really, really well. When you're not in combat, you're going to be enjoying these amazing graphics. I played it on a performance ray trace mode, which for me was like not full ray tracing, but like one step down, but still looked gorgeous, 60 frames a second. And I've never seen reflections done so well in a game, so pretty. Obviously, your robotic companions are very shiny. The way the light, the way enemy fire, the way everything reflects off them is fascinating. Even when you're wearing armor, yes, there is armor sets in this game that you can wear that have different passive abilities, like get more health or do more damage or receive more currency when you kill an enemy, in the form of bolts, of course. Those have reflectivity to them as well. And the cutscenes and everything carry over with your custom armor. So if you're wearing a really cool piece of chest armor, you're going to wear it the entire game. The only one that comes on and off is your helmet, where it kind of fades in and out so you can see the character expressions, and I think it works just fine in that way as well. And you're going to have a lot of fun just oogling in the eye candy that is provided. to you for sure. It's got a really fun story. You don't just play as Ratchet and Clank. Very early on, you meet Rivet and Kit, who are sort of doppelgangers of Ratchet and Clank. You're going to be playing with them quite a bit. All of your progress, all of your currency, all of your weapon upgrades swaps between them. They're assigned to specific planets to explore. So there will be times you'll be playing with Ratchet and Kit, and there will be times you'll be playing with Rivet and Clank. They swap them up. There are puzzles that you have to explore, kind of like a Lemmings type puzzle where you have to solve by putting orbs in different pedestals to create a flow of people from one end of the map to the other. There's dragons you can ride on. There's these like snails that you can fly around on. And there's a lot of side exploration and side quests to do as well. A very deep game, I want to say. We didn't platinum it, although we did just about everything. I think we were like maybe 4 achievements light of a platinum. But just to give you an idea of how much of a completionist we are, I think we locked in at around 22 to 25 hours of doing everything. We weren't in any rush at all. I think you could golden path the story in probably maybe 12 or 13 hours, but we really took our time and explored the world, found all the little treasures, the nooks, the crannies, the bonus armor, the challenge portals, and we all had fun. Challenge portals, that's the last thing I wanted to mention on before I wrap up with the PlayStation exclusive stuff. Challenge portals. This game does feature portals very heavily. That's the whole point of the game. Dr. Nefarious, being Nefarious, has decided to open up all of these portals, and as a result, the realities are folding in on each other. Things are falling apart. There are pockets of places where there's a challenge room, a challenge map, where you have to do something. Run across a bridge of exploding platforms and make it to the end, or a race against the clock, or something like that, which will reward you usually with a gold bolt, which gives you access to a fun little menu where you can do things like change your character's head size, change the overall filter of the game. You could change soundtracks to hear in the background, melee weapons, all these fun little like bonus things. Those are kind of the reward for completing these challenge portals. And then there's also portals throughout the world, which you'll teleport to, is featured heavily in the trailer, where you'll basically instantly warp to another place. And it's really, really fun and seamless, and it looks great. Specific to PlayStation 5, obviously this game is only on the PlayStation 5, and I'm so glad I played it there. I mean, I don't know if it's going to port to the PC later on. It may not. The 3D audio in this game is insanely impressive. I noticed Mark Cerny was the executive producer on this game. Makes sense. He definitely is a big champion of 3D audio, and he has dedicated a lot of time to being a champion for that, and it sounds so good. 3D audio in this game gives you such a bigger sense of scale, of enemies behind you, explosions behind you. These are bright, vibrant 3D worlds. Well, you'll be walking around and you'll hear conversations behind you. You'll hear enemy fire behind you. You'll just see things in the world and hear them in such a great way. I highly recommend, if you play this game, check out 3D audio. And then, of course, you know, PlayStation is going to champion their DualSense controller, and this is the best implementation of DualSense, period. I know a lot of people will probably say that Astrobots is definitely like a strong candidate because it was like a good tech demo of what the DualSense can do. If you enjoyed that, you're going to love what they did with Ratchet and Clank. All weapons have a primary and secondary fire by the trigger halfway down and all the way down, which radically changed the way the weapon works. Every weapon has a different signature to it. You feel the chain gun revving up in your hands, and it starts vibrating. As it starts to overheat and it steams up, it kind of just flattens out. The sniper rifle, you can feel it like channeling. It's kind of like an energy beam. You can feel like pulling through your hand. It's got a really good feel to it. Raindrops, sliding on things, even walking, the little chinks in your armor, ching, ching, when you're getting shot, you feel those explosions as well. Really beautifully done. I can't say enough good things about the 3D audio in this game and the haptic controls in this. It takes the experience to another level. It doesn't feel like a gimmick. It feels like it's a natural part of the experience, and you're going to just enjoy playing with it. Even I saw on Reddit the other day, someone found out that the pixelator actually plays music when it's revving up. It plays 8-bit music. And if you set it down on a table and you hit the trigger, you can hear vibration that sounds like a song's being played. I mean, these guys spared no expense when it comes to highlighting their two key features of this console generation, the 3D audio and the haptic feedback, and it just does so well at it. In wrapping up this review, I love this game so much. It's just such a treat to play. Don't look at this as just, oh, it's just a kid's game. There are some good little plots and twists and turns and double, little innuendos here and there, double meanings, that kind of stuff. You're going to have fun with this game. It's just such a visual masterpiece to play. This is an absolute must-have if you have a PlayStation 5, no doubt about it. You have to play this game. Is definitely worth the full asking price. They have just added this, like I said, this New Game Plus mode. You can play through the whole thing again with additional upgrades and more stuff to do if you just can't get enough of it. I think we're good. I think we're good on our first run through, but I don't know. Maybe one day I'll go back and play it again. But man, just what a time to be a Sony pony. That's all I could say. Get out there and play this game and enjoy it. And when you're done, come back here and leave some comments below. While you're down there, I almost forgot, make sure you subscribe to the channel. I'll have more reviews coming later this week. But until then, that wraps it up for today. Have a very safe, healthy, and fun 4th of July. I will catch you guys later on in the week. Thank you guys so much for watching. Take care of yourselves. And until next time, I will see you guys on the other side.